are tidying up some loose ends, ladies and gentlemen, on what is the hottest form of Alabama football talk. It's In My Own Words, with yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, live in studios from the break. We got a chance to look at my top 5 marquee defensive impact players for the Crimson Tide. Also, my 5 most important offensive standouts for the program in terms of spring practice, but not just that, summer workouts, fall camp, and the upcoming 2019 college football season. And before we dive into the final topic of conversation for this edition of shows, got to remind you on how important it is to download the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. People, you crave the best in Crimson Tide news, notes, and information. You want a number one source. You want the main stop shop. You want the go-to material for Tide football information. Look no further than the TDA Magazine app. I'm telling you, fans, we are providing you with the best in practice recaps, game recaps, highlights, recruiting, press conferences, player interviews, something new, something fresh, something different, something cutting edge, things that you would not normally see from other news sites. You will see via Touchdown Alabama Magazine if you download the app, which you can do this via the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if the Android phone is your thing. Got the audio option for you if you are a fan of In My Own Words. You check out the podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm. So many ways to check out the hottest show on the street, so there is no excuse for you not to be able to do that. News and notes in terms of the Alabama Athletics Department. Congratulations to Avery Johnson and Alabama men's basketball getting the 68-61 win over Vanderbilt this past weekend. A game that was needed for Alabama in terms of trying to continue positive consistency in its desire to get to the NCAA tournament. Has to continue to win, but a good start for the Tide getting off the schneid in defeating Vanderbilt. Big ups to Patrick Murphy and Alabama softball as the girls earning wins over Missouri State and Minnesota despite the crazy weather, rain delays going on at Rhodes Stadium. And how about Brad Bohannon and Alabama baseball? The guys 5-2 on the season. Alabama took 2 of 3 from Ball State over the weekend. And former Alabama linebacker Keith Holcomb, he's gone from being a 2-time national champion to being a killer on the baseball diamond, slugging at 1,000% so far this season, batting over 400. He's got 2 home runs, 9 runs driven in. So big kudos to men's basketball, softball, and baseball in terms of the Alabama Athletic Department. Now, we get into the final topic of conversation, and it's geared toward former Crimson Tide running back Trent Richardson. And he's trying to prove he still got it. He's trying to show that he can still play the game of football at an elite level. He's right now with the Birmingham Iron, part of the Alliance of American Football League. Richardson 6 scores on the season. He had 3 over the weekend on Sunday in the Irons' 28-12 win over the Atlanta Legends. And Richardson had an ESPN E60 feature on Sunday at 8 a.m. Just so much positive going on for Trent right now at a time to where, a lot of people, you have fans really, really cheering for him. You have fans that wonder, can he really do it? Is he washed up? Will we ever see the Trent that we saw during his time with the Crimson Tide from 2009 to 2011, the former 5-star from Pensacola, Florida, Escambia High School? Just some news and notes here on Trent prior to his pro career at Alabama. The guy was an absolute stud. A lot of people favor him more so than Mark Ingram, the first Heisman winner to come out of Alabama. But Trent, during his 3-year career, we're looking at 540 carries, 3,130 rushing yards, 35 touchdowns, was very good out the backfield as well in pass catching, 68 receptions for his career, 730 yards, 7 touchdowns. The 2011 season was really special for him. 283 carries, 1,679 rushing yards, 21 touchdowns. Prior to Derrick Henry in 2015, Trent Richardson had the original single-season rushing record for the Crimson Tide in 2011. Once again, prior to Derrick Henry coming in. That 2011 season led to Trent being the Doak Walker Award winner, the Southeastern Conference Offensive Player of the Year, an All-American, a Heisman finalist. Most importantly, it led to him in 2012 being the number 3 overall pick in the first round of that draft to the Cleveland Browns. And after a very strong rookie season, something happened to Trent that happens to a lot of people, and that's Trent lost sight of himself. It's not the fact that he wasn't good. The guy still had the vision, he still had the talent, he still had the capability, but when you jump from a system at Alabama to where Nick Saban kind of has you structured like you're in the military. You eat at a certain time, you're in class at a certain time, you work out at a certain time, you go to study hall at a certain time, you go to practice at a certain time. Everything at Alabama is so structured, right? And when you leave the structure of Alabama to go to the National Football League where, let's be honest, there are not a lot of franchises that are structured. You have very few. The Steelers are one, the Patriots, obviously, the New Orleans Saints. There are very few franchises in the National Football League that have that structure from the owner to the president to the general manager all the way down. And Trent went to the Cleveland Browns at that time, the laughingstock of the league, where the ownership dysfunctional, the coaching staff dysfunctional, and when you go to a dysfunctional place, it only breeds trouble. And they expect for Trent to carry this dysfunctional place to the promised land, and after a good first season, he kind of, lost sight of himself. And then on top of that, Trent was the type of guy that he wanted everybody around him to receive him, accept him, be a part of him. And that's the hardest thing, because when you try to bring everybody else up with you, you lose sight on the most important thing, which is your self-worth, your self-being, making sure that self is in order. And, that was the biggest issue for Trent, him bouncing from Cleveland to Indianapolis to Oakland to Baltimore, is that he was trying to take care of everybody else, that he forgot the fact that, Trent, you got in the football because you love it. You got in the football because you enjoy it. You got in the football because it does something for you and you have a passion for it. And being in the Alliance of American Football League, it has given Trent back his passion. It has given Trent back his zeal. It has helped Trent to recognize, I can do this. I still can play this game. I still can score touchdowns. I still can dominate and show the NFL that though I am 28, 29 years old, I have an opportunity to come back and show you, how much better I have become. Now, Birmingham Iron still has to work on getting that offensive line in order, because there are some moments where that offensive line is not trying to help Trent regardless of what's going on. But, Trent is showing that he still has it. There are some moments, though, in the first 2 or 3 quarters of a game to where he gets off to a slow start, but in that fourth quarter of games with the Iron, you see a burst here, a quick cut there, the energy and effort to not be brought down with one guy, but toughness on a run here. It may not be the runs of 15, 20, 25 yards, but it's a 6-yard run where he bounces off of contact. It's a 14-yard catch off a screen pass to where he turns upfield, he shakes a tackler, he uses that stiff arm, he's pushing the pile, he's showing that effort, he is displaying to you that the guy that played under Nick Saban at the University of Alabama, the guy that was a two-time BCS national champion, that guy is still there. And in doses, he is giving you reasons for that guy still being there. So Trent Richardson this season, he's got all 6 of the Birmingham Iron touchdowns, including 3 once again over the weekend against the Atlanta Legends in the 28-12 win for Iron, 3-0 on the season. So for me, I'm rooting for Trent. I'm proud of him. I've gotten the chance to talk to his trainer, Mike McCoy, who runs the Warehouse Performance Institute in Bessemer, Alabama. McCoy, former teammates with Richardson at Alabama. And one of the things McCoy told me was the general managers, guys in the NFL and guys among the professional ranks, they know how special Trent is. They know how bad Trent wants it. They know that even Trent sees that this is his last shot. They know that Trent fully understands it's now or never for him. But they also know that the Birmingham Iron does not have the most dependable offensive line. So if they can get that in order under head coach Tim Lewis, then we'll be able to start seeing him break these 15, 20, 25, 30-plus yard runs that we were accustomed to seeing him do during his time with the Crimson Tide. But a young man that, lost sight of himself when he jumped in the NFL, not because he wasn't good, not because he wasn't talented, not because he couldn't get it done, but because he wanted so much to get approval from others that sometimes you forget the main person you gotta prove it to and seek that approval from is your own self. Yes, guys in your inner circle that want to see you succeed, that want to see you do well, that want to see you master your craft. But at the end of the day, having that inner peace, having that acceptance within yourself, that's the big thing. And seeing how Trent is starting to bounce back and develop that and gain that, very much so happy for him as he continues to move forward with the Birmingham Iron and hopefully getting the chance to potentially get back into the National Football League. Folks, that's going to do it for this edition of shows on the hottest form of Bama football, in my own words. When we get back to start the new edition of shows, we dive into more of Alabama spring practice. We dive into more matchups in terms of the Crimson Tide, and we'll even get in to some NFL Combine talk. We'll lay out my sleepers for the NFL Combine coming up this week, starting on the 26th, which is Tuesday. For all of us here at Touchdown Alabama Magazine, I'm yours truly, Stephen M. Smith. Enjoy the week, everybody. Till next time, spin in my own words.